Hi, I'm Nick Lampson. I wanted to take a few minutes and talk with you about why I'm running for Congress. Every day I travel this district and I talk with people from all walks of life, and they're all telling me the same thing. Something's wrong in Washington. There's nothing but scandal after scandal. The deficit's out of control, jobs are going overseas, and it's time we had a plan to finish the job in Iraq so we can bring our troops home. This government is digging us into a lot of holes, and sometimes it seems like the only people who are making money are the ones selling shovels. But that's not completely true. Some people stand to make a lot of money, like Wall Street as they privatize Social Security. The drug companies, they're making a killing, and, well, we're paying a lot for gas these days. But before I tell you what I would do differently in Congress, I think you should know a little more about me. And the best way I can do that is to introduce you to a few people, like my sister Mary Jo. I actually have 5 brothers and sisters. We all grew up in Beaumont, Texas. Those are my grandparents. They moved to Stafford in 1913, where they were farmers. We have family still on the land today. My grandparents also helped found this church in Fort Bend County. Of course, back then, it looked a little different. My father was a welder, but he died when I was 12. I started sweeping floors to help my mother make ends meet. Mary Jo can tell you more about those days. We all worked hard, and my mother made sure we all got a college education.
Neither of our parents had a high school education, and that's probably why they thought it was so important that we get a college degree. And we did. And I remember how much Nick loved school, and he was always so excited to learn.
When Susan and I got married, we settled in Beaumont, where I got a job as a high school biology and physical science teacher. Yeah, I dressed funny back then, but I loved to teach.
I first met Nick when he was a teacher at my high school. Of course, we called him Mr. Lampson then. But what I remember most is that he cared about each and every student. He urged all of us to reach our greatest potential. He's one of the main reasons I went into education and became the principal that I am today.
Eventually, I served in local office, and then I was elected to Congress. For 8 years, I was proud to represent Harris and Galveston counties. I never got caught up in the Washington scene of the partisan politics. It's not why I went there. Instead, I think serving in Congress is about representing people and doing the people's work. It's why I was proud to help strengthen Social Security. I brought home millions of dollars from NASA and our ports to help our local economy, and I led the effort to create the Amber Alert and to pass cyber crimes legislation to protect our kids online. For me, it never mattered if something was a Democrat or Republican idea. I just tried to fight for good ideas.
Back in 1997, Nick was the founder of the Congressional Caucus for Missing and Exploited Children. His office, and he literally came to Children's Services to try to help us to make a Project Safe Place occur. Project Safe Place helps kids that are in danger of abduction or exploitation go to a business that will get them to our shelter program to prevent them from being in at-risk situations. He did a lot of work with an area of Harris and Galveston County called the Killing Fields in terms of bringing attention to the missing and exploited youth during the time at which Lori Smithers and other children were very sadly murdered. His efforts brought the law enforcement and social service community together in a way that we've become very vigilant about making sure that good things are happening to these children.
Now, what would I do differently in Congress than a fellow who's already there? A lot. First, I'll never embarrass you. I think you deserve to have someone who goes to work every day and just does the job for you, rather than trying to do a job on everyone else. Second, this deficit is driving up interest rates, killing investment in new jobs, and threatening funding for important priorities like education and disaster relief. I've got 3 grandchildren, and like all of our children, they shouldn't have to pay for this government's mistakes. Unlike the other guy, I know there's plenty of fat to be cut out of the federal budget. But rather than giving tax breaks to corporations that send jobs overseas, we need to be helping small businesses grow and hire more people here. Third, we have to finally do something about all this traffic. Unlike the guy named, DeLay, I've always fought for more road and light rail funding because this is ridiculous. And fourth, we have to think big again. I wrote the Space Exploration Act because this country has always made the most progress when we were stretching for something out of reach. That's how we re-energize the economy, create jobs, and teach our children how to dream big dreams.
Well, Nick's been a champion, I think, in the area of space. Kids are excited about science. They're excited about space for the same reason. It's about mystery. It's about adventure. It's about discovery. It's kind of what's out there and how can I be a part of that. It's about the future. And if we don't have those young people in the future generations in science and technology, then this country will suffer as a result. Nick has been a champion for space and a champion for science and technology and education. He's thinking about the future of this country. That's why it's so important that we send Nick back to Congress.
I'm excited about this campaign because whether it's something close to home like providing incentives for our best students to become teachers or changing the course of our nation to get us back on track again, this is an incredibly important election. I've met a lot of people traveling these roads, and no matter how many years I'm blessed to serve in Congress, I'll never forget who sent me there and why I'm there. With your help, I'll get that chance. I'll work my hardest, and I'll never let you down.